Hey everybody, so I have not posted a video in a while, and so I'm going to address the obvious. If you don't follow my other social media channels, my haircut is different. Ryan has given me a high and tight. It's been really hot here, and yeah, I'm still dyeing my hair, so I'm giving it a fresh, healthy start once I'm done dyeing it. But anyway, today's video I wanted to talk about what our daily schedule is for homeschooling and what it could look like on any day depending on where we're at or just what our schedule is wherever it is we're at. So, and then I'm also going to show you guys what we have listed on the refrigerator for them to get done in a day, including their chores and just homeschool activities and things like that. So, and that's one thing with this haircut, I cannot stop touching it. It's so crazy. Okay. I'm going to be done. Hold on. Alright, I'm done. Okay. Alright, on to homeschooling. Okay, so some of the questions I get asked a lot are, how often do we homeschool? How many hours a day? What are we doing in a day? So we homeschool year around. Let that sink in. We believe in a life of learning. We believe in always learning new things, creating, using imagination, exploring. And with that comes new hobbies and interests and just a whole bunch of stuff, okay? So here's the thing, right? I remember in school, being out during the summer for like 2 or 3 months and then like forgetting to hold my pencil, forgetting basic math, forgetting like just you kind of dumped your brain. So during this bus build, we really wanted to encompass the kids seeing us learn something new every day, no matter how stressful it was, and how many videos on YouTube we watched. We wanted to encourage them and show them that learning isn't just done in a classroom, in a desk, or during certain times of the day. Learning is done all the time, and bookwork doesn't have to be a total part of it. And that is on to my next question. So the next question I get all the time is, do you do bookwork? Yes, we actually have, we practice an eclectic mix of homeschooling styles. I first started off with the Charlotte Mason method, which really focuses on using classic live literature to teach. So it includes bookwork too, but I really focus that as far as reading classic novels, things that you would typically read, things that I grew up reading. They will learn English and grammar skills that way, reading these things. And it really has proven to show that in my oldest daughter, who loves to write stories. We've been doing this for 4 years, and I've seen her development on her writing just explode after each classic she finishes. So we'll get to that. And then the other method we use is obviously unschooling. We do encourage, we don't school bookwork every single day. We will explore some days, we'll go on hikes, we'll go to national monuments, we'll move the bus, so we'll kind of take a week off and explore that area. If I find a bunch of swimming holes, we'll kind of take that week off and kind of visit a couple of different swimming holes that week. I don't always post those, but that is something we do. We'll also, I have another video about Roadschooling to check out, and so some of the other things we do are, we'll do homeschool meetups. There's a teen meet here locally that we do. We're here near Sedona in Arizona now in our new spot, and it's a great group. And we also have another group for my younger daughter. We're still working on play dates for that, but there are a lot of resources out there. So instead of bookworking, we do focus, socializing is another part of their curriculum. They've actually been socializing with a lot of our other RVer kids that come and stop through the campground or the resort that we're at, swimming in the pool, just living a daily life like they would whenever they're an adult. So we really encourage practicality. What are they going to be doing? What do they need to learn to be successful in this life when we're not here to guide them anymore? And showing them what a typical life is like, I feel like, is such a huge, it's a huge part of learning. Balancing a checkbook, developing plans, things like that. Those are all very practical. They don't have to be learned in a book. They can just be learned in applying your basic life skills, right? Okay, so on to the next point. So a typical day for us will be the kids usually wake up, it could really be anywhere between 6 a.m., no later than 10 a.m., and some days it's 9, it's usually 9, but those are kind of the hours that they wake up. So then they get into doing their breakfast, they'll start doing chores and homework. Typically my oldest is up first and has all of her chores done, has eaten breakfast, and is doing her homework before my youngest even gets out of bed sometimes. So she is usually the last to wake up. She'll make her breakfast. She's very slow. This has always been her. So she takes care of herself. She usually makes like an egg and toast sandwich for breakfast, and then she'll slowly get around to doing her chores. It's kind of better that way too. I like for them to do their chores and homework opposite of each other, so one can be sitting down doing homework or outside doing homework, and the other one can have kind of free range to do their chores and whatever they need to get done. So typically their chores are something like this. Okay, so this is a typical day for the kids with their chores and schoolwork all listed. And then periodically I'll have a magic erase all the trim in the house, because it's not a big house, and the walls, if there's any walls with like dirt or any smudges on it. And that's just kind of as we see fit, you know, probably once a month or once every couple of weeks. Their schoolwork, this week their dad has tasked them with to develop some business ideas while we're running our pumpkin patch lot and Christmas tree lot this season, for them to develop some ideas to sell some services that they could offer, or inventory of candy or something. So they're working on that. And then they do Matthew C, and I'll talk more about that. It's basically A through D or levels. They'll do, it's one page is like front and back work, and then a test on Friday. Every day they have to read a chapter on whatever book they're working on. Spelling, we do Spell UC. I'll show you those as well. 3 levels, so this is pretty much what they have to do for school. Everything they have to get done in 1 week. Sorry, I didn't explain that earlier. So they can work ahead if they want to on whatever level, as long as this gets done in a week. So they can finish early or late. So 3 levels, they can break it up into 3 days or do all 3 levels in 1 day. It's really, I let them have that responsibility to just get this done. They'll type for 2 days. I think it's master instructor or typing instructor, master. I got it on Amazon. You can do Mavis Beacon teaches typing. There's a few different things. If you hear that sizzling, my bacon just started cooking. I'm cooking dinner while I'm doing this video. Anyway, so then also Ryan, she will have 1 to 2 creative writing topics a week. So this is what she's working on this week. Layla, she is given 6 to 10 vocabulary words a week. This week I'm giving her 6. These are 5th grade level, so I'm not giving her too many at first. But anyway, she's responsible during the week to alphabetize all of these and then define each. And then on Friday we do like a verbal vocabulary test. So that's what they do here. And then I'm leaving out so many different things that we also do, and I'll kind of talk about those in a second. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the curriculum that I've chosen. Spelling UC is something I've been doing for about 2 years now. It's the same manufacturer as Matthew C. This is my 9-year-old's. So it's mostly like copy work, dictation, and a lot of rhyming. So she's just kind of working on that and working on sentence building and things. And then my 8th grader, hers is dictation. It talks more about history. This is the instructor's handbook, but it does come with this. It's a very easy to use curriculum. She can use it on her own up until we do dictation every Friday, so you know, she'll use that. And then we also use their Math UC. So my oldest, she's in fractions right now. This is her test booklet, and then the actual workbook, I mean, it's torn up. It's huge. This takes about typically like 8 to 9 months for them to complete. When they get bored, or if they get bored, we'll switch over to Khan Academy, which is a free website. We also do code.org and Code Academy for each of their ages. You know, periodically, if I want them to do more computer work that week. Every Sunday, I'll just kind of prep them for whatever they're going to do that week. So, you know, for summer with good internet, we'll do more internet work. Lately, we've been doing a little bit more book work and writing than we have been doing internet work, because they're really into playing their video games right now. So I'm kind of letting them do that, and then just doing more book work so they don't have too much screen time. So there's a balance in everything. It changes constantly, just like life. And then our schedule changes sometimes too when we move. Just like we kind of have to get used to maybe a time change, or kind of just a little bit of an adjustment that takes some time. So those are some of the actual book work that they do that we use. And then of course the typing program as well. So on to the next thing. And something I forgot to mention is also in those workbooks, the point of those programs in particular are to become a master at whatever it is they're teaching you. So they can test out of levels if they are just like really bored, if it's really easy. They can test out of that level and move on to something else. So they're not stuck just doing that one thing because they have to do it. If they're bored, they move on. So that's the other great benefit of homeschooling too. If they want to move on even in their book, they actually do get paid for completing books. Those big books are 20 bucks. Their spelling books are 20 bucks. They get paid to read like $1 for every book that they read. It doesn't actually influence them as much as I thought it would, but they do look forward to that. So sometimes when they get in that mood to make money, they'll kind of do extra levels. So I don't know if it's right. I used to be paid to make good grades, so I figured why not give them some motivation, right? But anyway, that's something I forgot to add. Okay, and so some of the other things that you can think about whenever you're homeschooling, and things that happen on a typical basis are, we talk about a lot of the current events happening, which turns into history topics. We'll talk about things we've seen on TV. They'll give us their perspective of it. We'll talk to them about it and see how they feel about it. And talk to, if it's about a government thing, we'll talk about, legislation and the commandments and the Bill of Rights and your freedoms and, just things like that. And like the other day, we were actually talking about the atom bomb, I think. And so then we started talking about World War II, and then we started talking about the Manhattan Project, and then we got on YouTube and started looking at videos. So, it's very applicable, especially like if we're watching a movie that's based on something that happened. We really do try to find things like that are educational. We watch a lot of Discovery, a lot of the Planet type shows. We take advantage of our Amazon and Netflix and Hulu memberships on docuseries. And then we also have them research things as well. So they are researching and using the computer and using those skills that they will need anyway in life, right? My oldest, she actually loves writing stories. So she's working on learning how to self-publish on Amazon. She's working on short stories and things like that, and learning how to edit, how to use Microsoft Word, how to use Publisher. So we do pay for that yearly subscription for that. I gotta flip my bacon, so sorry, I'm making salads and I like to throw bacon in our salad. So anyway, that's actually done. So on to the next thing. So my youngest, because she has seen my daughter writing stories for years, she has finally picked up a pen and started writing her own stories. So for her, I'm more excited because now she's actually, developing a lot of sentences and paragraphs. So we're going to kind of foster that, and we're going to go through it and just edit it. And we're going to talk about editing. And so you kind of use what they're doing, that passion that they find, and try not to overrun it. And like me, sometimes I kind of helicopter mom it. I'm working on that control issue that I have. But I try to give them that free space to figure it out on their own, and let them do the exploring. My youngest, she got really into slime during the slime craze and has made a ton of slime. I'm like $200 into slime right now, right? So she's taking a break from that, but that really got her into chemistry and learning how things come together. So we're going to start talking about the periodic table of elements. We've been doing a lot of, we just watched a TED Talks on chemistry and organic chemistry. So again, you can introduce things passively without, pushing it, but knowing that they have an interest in it and knowing where your kid's at is really beneficial when you are unschooling, or if you're really, if your homeschool is focusing on your kids being happy and finding something that they love to do and chasing that. And I stress to my kids all the time, you don't have to pick one thing and be that when you grow up. You can try things. There's all kinds of jobs out there. So we also, we like to donate some time to local animal shelters or humane societies. We'll just go play with the cats, help them do laundry. play with the puppies, and it kind of gets them out and doing some community work as well. So there's all kinds of things out there that you can do to help in your homeschool experience, whether you decide to do it on the road or do it right where you're at in your local town where your kids can be a regular, which is another reason why we do travel not as frequent as other people. We'll travel at, like, we'll stop somewhere for 3 months. We like to let them become a regular somewhere. And if they like the town, then we'll stay a little bit longer. That's kind of the purpose of traveling. So I hope this video helps some people about kind of what our schedule is, what our kids are learning, what they're doing. And if you follow our social media, you'll see that my oldest, with her, she loves art. So we were fortunately in a place where they were having a county fair. She was able to enter it. She got first place. And she was up against all these kids, like, from an art institute. It was really great for her confidence, and we're super proud of her. They had a chance to do archery classes at the last homeschool group we were at for free. We have a really great teen meetup group here that we're meeting with once or twice a week. There's just a lot of things out there community-wise, especially in the summer. Check out your local libraries, check out your local parks and recreation sites, check out your local Facebook groups, check out Meetup. Just throw in those Google terms, homeschool meetup groups. So many moms and dads are out there wanting their kids to make friends, and they're usually, you'll find somebody around your age. So just, don't be scared just to use your resources and your tools, and keep that confidence. You can educate your child. You just have to care. You just have to take the time and do the research. There is a book I'm going to show you in a second that has really helped me out a lot. Actually, no, I'm not going to show you. I don't have it with me. But it's 101 Homeschoolers Top Picks is what it's called. I'll put a link in my description below. It is from a woman who basically gives you some tests on your kids, how they learn best, how you teach best, how you want to teach. Do you want it to be complicated? Do you want to have to be really involved? Do you want to be just a guide? Do you want them to only, self-direct? There's all these different tests, and if you're new to homeschooling, I loved it. I like taking cosmopolitan quizzes a long time ago, and that kind of fit into my category. So I took a bunch of quizzes, and it kind of classified me into the type of learners my kids are, and what curriculum that she talks about reflects that. It goes into if you want Christian-based, more secular, just all kinds of things, hands-on approaches, that sort of stuff. So definitely check that book out. Again, I'll put an Amazon link below. It was a very good guide for me. It helped give me confidence to pick the right curriculum. Don't be scared to try things and then turn around and sell it on eBay or or on your local Craigslist or your Facebook marketplace. I've only done that once or twice, and maybe I'll do like a video review of a bunch of the curriculum that we've tried. So, but that's what we're using now. That's what works. Again, if your kids are getting burnout, switch it up, change it up, do something different. Talk about psychology. One homeschool mom I met, they're focusing just a year on psychology. Awesome, right? Just anything. Focus on space, astrology, human body, whatever it is you want to do. They're your kids. Now it's your responsibility to give them that knowledge so they can be upstanding citizens in the future. So the motto that we teach our kids every day, and what we want them to learn out of life, is to create their future, not to consume their future. Be creative, do something. Don't come with a problem, come with the problem, but come with the solution too. Problem solving is so undervalued, and it was a huge stepping stone for me in my life, and I really want them to understand that there is no problem too big. All it takes is small steps. One little bit at a time will solve a bunch. It'll come together and it'll just solve a bunch of problems. You just have to keep working at it, and the only way to get through something is to get through it and stay positive, because your brain has so much power. We tell them all the time, you can think what you want into existence. That's the other thing, just staying positive and finding something that you want, being happy and putting those vibes out there, and being a good person, giving good karma out there to people. complimenting people, using people's names in public, like the cashier, saying her name when you say goodbye. Their name is so important to them, and it's showing somebody, another human being, that respect. That is all left out, I think, because, you know, parents sometimes aren't on their game as much, I think, maybe anymore, but that is something daily that we do as parents, and we hope that they see that and they will continue those great habits. So anyway, have an awesome day, everybody. I hope y'all liked my haircuts, and I hope you liked all the information I gave you. I hope it wasn't too long, but I hope you guys learned something from it. Have an awesome day, and we'll do a walkthrough video soon. Bye, guys.